So for everything that SummerSlam 2002 was in my mind, SummerSlam 2003 was not, sadly. Something is off about this event when the manager of the A Train, Sable, is the one featured on the DVD cover art and on the poster art for this event. They went with Sable. Just something is off about SummerSlam 2003, and in a very bad way. Some of the matches didn't get nearly enough time, especially one of the featured matches. A couple of these matches and the way they were booked and the way they finished really pissed me off. This was just in large part to me a very disappointing event and one of the crappier SummerSlams that I've been fortunate or unfortunate enough to watch. You start off with the tag team match for the World Tag Team Championships, largely forgettable to me. Undertaker versus A Train. This is where Sable comes in. She's escorting the A Train. She's a part of the second match of the night, and she's on the poster and on the cover art for SummerSlam. Whatever. Sorry. Undertaker, A-Train. Saw enough of it at WrestleMania 19. Didn't need to see any part of it here in freaky 2003. How about that? A match that really pissed me off. I didn't expect it to be great back in 2003 when I ordered it, but a match that I thought was going to be better was Shane McMahon versus Eric Bischoff. I figured in somehow, some way, they were going to make this no disqualification, no countouts type of thing. But before the match starts, Eric Bischoff made it that and made it falls count anywhere. And what always made me so pissed off about this was that Shane McMahon was legit. The fans bought him as legit. And in no way, shape, or form should he have needed any help to have quickly and easily have disposed of an Eric Bischoff. And yet, of course, that's exactly what he got. Coachman interferes, that's fine. And then this ultimately becomes a big thing about Stone Cold Steve Austin, the sheriff on Raw, and oh, fucking Christ. Here's Austin, stunning Coachman, and here's Austin stunning Bischoff. Like, Shane McMahon needed that fucking help to beat Eric Bischoff. Here's the same guy that was thrown into the freaking bottom of the Titantron, going through the glass. Here's the guy falling off of the fucking metal scaffolding. Here's the Shane McMahon who's done all this crazy shit, had good matches, good feuds, and we put him here with Eric Bischoff at SummerSlam in this Falls Count Anywhere match, and he has to get help from Austin in order to beat Bischoff. I'm sorry. I thought this sucked. Just my opinion. Even when I look at the four-way for the U.S. title, you got Eddie Guerrero, you've got Tajiri, you've got Rhino, you've got Chris Benoit. This match should have been so much more than what it was. This match should have been one of those true saving graces of the night. It was good, but it needed more time, in my opinion. Just as I thought it started to kind of get good, the match was over. And again, it was just more of the disappointment that ultimately was this show. Like, to me, for example, I thought the match that should have main evented this show, the match that had the best story heading into it, the match that had the best possibilities for delivering, the match that had the more important title involved with it, at least you would have thought, was Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. I realized this wasn't in an Elimination Chamber. I realized that this didn't have God in it. But in my opinion, this match should have main evented. You've got Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, the same guys that main evented WrestleMania 19. And they had a good feud in the middle part of 2003. And now we get here to SummerSlam, your big show of the summer. Kurt Angle's the champion. Brock Lesnar, former champion, multiple-time champion, guy that won the 2003 Royal Rumble, beat Angle in the main event of WrestleMania 19. And maybe it's because of that main event you didn't do it here, but for whatever reason, you decided to put this match in the middle of the fucking card. Not only did this match not main event, it came before Cain versus RVD in their no-holds-barred match. Yeah. And it's a shame because this match was really damn good. This was one of Brock Lesnar's best matches he ever had in the WWE, and this was certainly one of the better ones that Kurt Angle had in a career full of really damn good matches as part of the WWF and WWE. This match was outstanding. Imagine if this match would have been the way that you ended the night. Imagine if this match would have been the finish to the show. Kurt Angle making Brock Lesnar submit, and there's no problem with that, because you would actually believe that a Kurt Angle could make a Brock Lesnar submit. Here are two guys with legit, badass, amateur backgrounds, And here's a former Olympic champion beating a former NCAA heavyweight champion by submission. This match was awesome. It really worked, and one of the more enjoyable SummerSlam title matches for me to go back and watch. Cain versus RVD in the No Holds Barred matches, I kind of viewed it as the who's going to be buried less match. Because both of them have kind of felt the wrath of God during 2002, 2003, and I'll get to that in just a second here. You know, still pisses me off what they did to Cain during this time. And frankly, at that time, I was still a really big fan of RVD, and it pissed me off what they were doing to RVD at that time. Yeah, you kind of put him here in the second to last match of the show, but these guys deserve better than what they were getting from the company at the time. And, this was what they got instead. You didn't even put him in the fucking Elimination Chamber match. That was just trash. I'm sorry. Trash, trash, trash. But no, trash is truly defined by the Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And why did this match main event? Was it because it was an Elimination Chamber match? Perhaps. Was it because of the participants involved? Perhaps. Was it just because the son-in-law was the fucking champion and you knew he was going to leave the champion and that automatically meant this match had the main event? Probably. This match pisses me off at so many different fucking levels. Yeah, the one thing I found funny was Nash was in and then Nash got out. He's like, yeah, I'll take my pay-per-view payout. Deuces. Nash, another victim of the reign of God of Triple H in 2003 on Raw. Oh, God. This was clearly a time to me where SmackDown was the far better brand, the far more entertaining show. Raw was just brutal at times, and in particular, it was brutal because of Triple H. This was just bad. It sucked to high hell. And this match here, frankly, sucked to high hell. You had Survivor Series 2002, and that great Elimination Chamber match, the first ever, and I still argue the best ever Elimination Chamber match. The participants in it, the consequence of it, so many things really worked in that freaking match. Now you come here to 2003, and you get this. The freaking Elimination Chamber match went less than 20 minutes. I understand why RVD might not have been in this match because you didn't want him smashing Triple H's trachea again, but I thought Cain at least deserved to be in this freaking match. But you've got Jericho in there, you've got Orton in there, you've got Michaels in there, you've got Goldberg in there. Nash, like I said, he was in and then he was out. And to me at this point in time, you were really setting it up where you had no choice, in my mind, but to sit there and go with Goldberg. This was the moment. This was the opportunity. This needed to be Goldberg's time to win the strap. If you were going to make Goldberg's time in WWE work at all, this was the opportunity. This was the moment. You couldn't punt the ball down the road. He had to go over here. And in an Elimination Chamber match, a heel like Triple H wouldn't have looked that weak if he had to go through a bunch of other guys and Goldberg happy to get a lucky one over on him. But no, that's not how the WWE decided to book this bullshit. They decided to have Goldberg eliminate 3 other people in short order. He eliminated, what the hell was the order? It doesn't fucking matter. What did he do? He eliminated Jericho, Orton, and Shawn Michaels in some fucking order. It was like spear, jackhammer, jackhammer, and then Triple H hits him with the fucking sledgehammer and wins the fucking match. This was brutal. This was terrible. This was god-awful. And the fans let you know. It wasn't just the fact that a heel won using chicken shit heel tactics like this. It's because I think the crowd knew that they were tired of the reign of God already at this point in time in 2003, and they also knew that the situation was right at this moment to at least put the strap on Goldberg for a short period of time. Why not try to get the maximum mileage you could out of Goldberg in the time that you had him? This was just stupid, especially since they later on put the belt on fucking Goldberg any damn ways. Why not do it here? Why not send some of the people home happy? Why not sit there and maybe perhaps please some of the old WCW fans, if they were even bothering to watch this shit in 2003, by saying, hey, one of your guys, Goldberg, has the old WCW title. Doesn't that make you happy? No, you had to sit there and remind us once and for all that it was the WWE and you were going to do things the WWE way. And since Triple H was family now, you were going to sit there and use that old territorial mindset and give us bullshit like this. If you ever have a chance to buy the SummerSlam 2003 DVD, do yourself a favor. Don't. You see Sable on the cover, that means run. Don't watch this shit. The only thing you really, truly, frankly need to bother watching from this entire pay-per-view is that outstanding match between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Otherwise, frankly, to me, the rest of this show is skippable, and the rest of this show ended up combining to be just flat-out awful. Fuck God for this crap in 2003. This was what I'm talking about with that reign of terror of his, because he was blowing through everybody. He was burying every fucking buddy. And yes, it wasn't just beating people. It was burying people and doing stupid shit, all to pad his ego and make him look like fucking unbeatable God. Breakfast Club's rules, bitches, I guess.